say that in this verse I have got few confusion, in this verse I haven't got any confusion, this is matched with the scientific research at the present time. So this is somehow we can portray the message to the atheist, and which I feel that will be benefited for us also to learn about scientific journals at the present time, what are the advancements of science, and we can also at the same time can share, because the best way to learn is by sharing. Whenever we learn something, we start sharing. If it helps me, it will help any one of you, because it helps us to memorize the things. When we become a teacher, we say the same things again and again, so that it becomes a permanent property in our head. So inshallah, I pray that that is somehow we can convey the message of Islam, or we can convince the atheists. The second question the brother asked here, that how can I talk to those who believe in one God but not believe in religion? Agnostic. As I said, that there are people who are agnostic, neither they believe, neither they do deny about the existence of God. So the same philosophy, you can go to our website ipc-twitter.com, how to convince an atheist or agnostic. There's a brief, more than 20 pages, and maybe as much as you can memorize, that will be good. And you take the Quran, you read every day. That's what I practice in every day, so that it helps us to learn and memorize the things, and we can share the things to the others. That will be benefited to convince either atheist or an agnostic person. Someone will do lecture to youth about Dawah. Is there a possibility that girls can participate? So maybe it's from the sister side. The sisters want to ask that whether the sisters are allowed to have Dawah. Brothers and sisters, Islam is religion for all. Allah says, "Hada balagul linnas," is the religion for whole of mankind. So we Muslims, we cannot fight in one hand. The male especially, we cannot fight in one hand. So we need also our sisters, our mothers, our wives, and our children, our daughters, to do the same. And this is the noble task has been honored by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he never restrict any of his wives as far as my knowledge goes, or any of the sisters on that tribes to convey the message of Islam, as long as they are following the purview of Islamic Sharia. So as long as we are in the line, we can do as many dawah as we can, either a male or a female, because for a female it might be some restrictions from the husband. So it's good to have a good understanding with the husbands or the fathers or the guardian that the sister has. Maybe the sisters can do dawah in their level of the sisters, because to convince the sisters, there are so many problems among the sisters. Maybe a sisters will feel shy to come to a man. So the sisters of this community, they need the sisters. So we must train our sister to talk with the people. My difficulty is that I'm a student, and one of the major difficulties is that I haven't yet learned the local language, which I intend, inshallah, I will learn. And you, the brothers, who can now talk in the community, because you know the language already. So you take up the notes, you practice yourself, and you just convey the message to the local community, as the sisters can do, as the men can do. So the fourth question is that I have got it wrong about Islam. I want to go to the next step and make video lectures. Can I do so since I am a sister? So the sister says that whether she can make videos or not. As far my knowledge goes, that as far video lectures are concerned, you will find if you watch the best television or satellite channel that I used to prefer, the Peace TV, there are in a certain stages, the girls or the sisters, they can give a talk as long as they are not doing anything wrong as per Islamic Sharia, not smiling or giggling or doing very much intermingling between the sexes. And if you follow the guidelines, there are lectures given in the Peace TV, because there are more than 30 jurists. They observe the programs and they telling us, so the young sisters, they can sing at a certain stage. The other sisters, they are giving the lectures. I know that here in the Bolivia Mosque, we have the respected sheikhs and ulamas. You can also consult with them on what extent you can go to publish a video lectures. As far audio media is concerned, And the written media is concerned, in the newspaper, as far my knowledge goes, there is no restriction, but for the videos and for other things which interact with the male and female, because the video can be observed by the male, so there has to be some restrictions. So you can consult with the experts or the jurist here to have a clear point of view on this particular question. I got another question. Is there some Islamic organization here, those in Sweden, who spread the Dawah to those who are not Muslims yet? If yes, how can I contact them? So I know of many, because it is the responsibility of every Muslim to convey the message of Islam. The organization, Islamic Sunni Center, as far as I know, Islamic Information for Any, we are just new Islamic Propagation Center. There are other organizations. As far my knowledge goes, to interact with the non-Muslims, I can personally tell about our organizations. We directly focus one particularly to the non-Muslims. The University of Gutenberg University in Chalmers, we have few academic lectures and few critical topics and lectures like Islamophobia, terrorism and jihad. We organize such lectures especially for the non-Muslims. So even inshallah we schedule that in short schedule we will inshallah give more lectures to the non-Muslims about the religion of Islam and about various topics. So you can contact any of the organization, and as long as you are a Muslim, I told you, as an individual, anyone can propagate Islam as per the Constitution of Sweden says. And Constitution of Islam says everyone is allowed to convey the message of Islam. I hope that I have answered the questions. On the mobile? The question is that what is the easiest way to make a non-Muslim to convert to Islam? Where should I begin? Now, brother, as for what strategy I do, that I never try to convert or revert anyone. Because Allah says, فَذَكِّرْ إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُذَكِّرْ in Surah Jasiyah chapter 18 verse 21. That it is your duty to convey the message, to deliver the message. And the next verse says that لَاسْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ بِمُسَيْطِرٍ, that you are not dictated as a manager over to anyone to give the hidayah. The Quran says in Surah Qasas chapter 20 verse 56 that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives the hidayah to whom He chooses. So we as a level, as a da'i, we can just portray the message, we can make them neutralize and give them understanding that why they should practice Islam and how they can understand Islam more. So, and we leave it to Allah, because it is He who gives the guidance. It is not of any experts. Even the biggest guys in the world, they cannot give the hidayah to anyone. It is Allah who opens the heart of the people and the mind of the people to accept Islam. So I think to begin, we must first learn the deen of Allah. Where to begin? First, we must arm ourselves with the deen of Allah. Second, we can study the other religious scriptures. You can follow the video lectures of the great comparative studies, or you can study the techniques has been given by so many Islamic scholars, and you can also study in updated information about science, about medicine, about technology. You can study the books. So many books there are giving guidelines how to do dawah. The questions are very selective because there are not many questions. If you can understand 50 questions and you have the answer with you, inshallah there will not be a problem initially in many stages. As far as critical question is concerned, you can consult later on and you can give the answer later on. So there is not a single technique, there are various techniques. I feel from my point of view that would be easy, so I practice this. It is up to you, should find the techniques by yourself, that what is capacity you have, what surroundings you have, how much people you can interact, and with all this strategy, because Allah says use the hikmah. So we have to use the hikmah according to our level. We can follow the experts, whichever we want, and we can try our level best. So that is from where we should begin, and that is what we should equip. First, we should equip the deen of Allah, that is the Quran and the Hadith. We should have a basic knowledge and a depth knowledge, so that we may not be puzzled by the questions posed by the non-Muslims or by the journalists or by the others. And we must have a very basic logic behind that, so that we can give them the reasons of the present happening. We can study the statistics of the present time. we can study so many papers, newspapers, journals in a regular basis. You have to do research. In Sweden, they are the world second in research. So